Okay, so cut your heads off. Here we are in the living room, and we are going to study this chart. And eventually, we're going to make a hypercube.
Yeah.
Out of zone tool. So, first of all, the very first thing on the chart was a point. What are we going to use for a point in our zone tool set?
We're going to use this zone tool.
Okay.
This one zone tool.
So, do you agree that that has one corner, no line segments, no area, no nothing?
Yes.
Okay, so set that down on the ground. That's going to be our point. Okay? How do we make a line segment out of zone tool?
It would be like this.
It would be a point, and then it slides. The point slides.
So like this.
Okay, so what are you describing? What is sliding?
Well, the point is sliding.
So let's say this is our original point,
Okay,
and you slide it until you get to this point.
all right. Interesting. What does the chart say about a line segment in terms of the things that it
It
has?
should have two corners and one edge.
Okay,
And it does.
do you agree that it does?
Yes.
All right, so set your line segment down there. Okay. So can you tell me, we have, in the top of the chart, we have a point has one corner and no edges, and the line segment has two corners and one edge. Where did the two corners come from?
Well,
What creates the two corners?
it's the one point. The one point, like it slides. The one point by itself is one corner,
Okay,
but it slides to create another corner.
okay. So how many points does each corner create in the next shape?
Well, it
You
creates
mean in the square, or
No.
just
No.
the one.
When we started with the line, when we started with a point, how many points in the next shape, in this shape, here, did this point create?
Well,
it created two.
Created two. Okay. How many lines did each point create?
Each
Corner.
It created one.
Okay. Interesting. So how do I make a square now?
Now you slide this like that.
All right, so make a square real quick.
There.
Okay, so we got a square. All right, how many corners does the square have?
It has four corners.
Okay, does that agree with the chart?
Yes.
How many line segments does it have?
It has four.
And how many areas does it have?
It has one.
Where is that new,
It's this face.
the face? Okay. So let's put these down side by side. And I kind of zoomed in a little tighter than I needed to, so we probably can't see the chart anyway. Let's put those side by side. Okay. So in the square, let's look at the square and the line segment, because the line segment created the square.
Yeah.
Each corner of the line segment created how many corners in the square?
Each corner created two corners.
Two corners. Okay. Each corner created how many line segments?
Each corner created one line segment.
Okay. And what about each line segment? What did each line segment do?
It created two new line segments.
Each line segment created two new line segments. Did the line segment create anything else?
The line segment created some
No,
because
these points here created those points, but the line segment just created these line segments.
but didn't the line segment has two corners?
That's right. We were thinking about those edges and the corners as being different things.
Oh.
Okay. Well, what does our chart say the square has?
It has four edges and four corners and one face.
Where did the face come from?
The
Well,
face.
I guess the line segment sort of created the face.
Oh, interesting. The line segment created the face. All right, so let's go back now to the corners.
So,
The corners and the line segments. We were trying to, one of the things we couldn't figure out initially was how to go down the chart. The edges went from 0 to 1 to 4.
yeah.
So you can see the 4 edges here on the square. Where did those 4 edges come from?
Well, it came from this line. It came from the line segment, and these, and the points on the line segment.
Okay,
The edges, well, 2 edges came from this line segment,
all right.
and 2 edges came from, well, 1 edge came from this point, and 1 edge came from that point.
Okay, so we got the total number of edges in the square, which was 4.
Yeah.
By doing what with these, with the edges and corners of the line segment? Where does the 4 come from?
We slid, this created 1, that created 1, and this created 2.
Okay. So in our chart that had the line segment had 2 corners and 1 edge, where does this 4 come from?
It comes from these. It came from the corners plus the edges.
Okay, but that's 2 plus 1.
That doesn't equal.
But you created 2 new things within the edge.
What 2 new things did you create?
You created the face, and you created 2 new line segments.
Ah, interesting. So what do I have to do to this 1?
You have to multiply it by 2,
And then what?
and then add those 2 together.
Okay, so a cube, according to the chart, has 12 line segments.
Yeah.
Where does that 12 come from?
The 12s come from multiplying this by
2, and then adding it with that.
Okay, 4 times 2 is
It's 8
Plus
4
4.
is 12.
32 comes from an 8 and a 12.
It'd be 24 plus 8, 32.
Pretty interesting,
Yeah.
right? All right, let's go into 3 dimensions now.
Okay.
Yeah.